Hi everyone, my name is Kenzie Clark. I am a solutions engineer here at Open Water, and today we're going to be taking a look at everything you wanted to know about our letters of recommendation feature. So to start, we've built out an example program, but there's many different ways you can use our letters of recommendation. For example, if you're a photojournalist and you need to get a photo release, you could send the release to the third party, or perhaps you're submitting for a physician accreditation and you need to get your medical director to. There's tons of different use cases. In this case, we're going to be looking at a research grant demo that I've put together for this. So let's hop right into the submission form itself and see what it's like to send a letter of recommendation. So over in the submission form, I've put a quick program together with some different fields, but let's take a look right at the recommendation. So all we need to do is enter the first name. In this case, we're going to send it to myself, and then we just put in the email, and then you're good to go. Now, I've currently set this up as it will only send on finalize. However, there is an option where you could send the letter of recommendation before finalizing your submission in case it's a lengthy submission or you just need some more time to work on it. In this case, we're going to save and finalize. And in a moment here, I will receive the email with the letter of recommendation, and then I'll pull it up and we can take a look at that. Okay, so I received the email, and now I've opened up the form for myself to fill out as the recommender. So in this case, these are fields that I configured. So this is just your full name, your institution, position, and then if I'm willing to be the advisor of record for the remainder of this project. In this case, none of these fields are required. However, you can set up all the fields to be required, none of them to be required, whatever works best for you. We'll save and finalize, and then it'll give us a little confirmation page, and we know we're good to go. So now that we've sent that in, let's go see what the applicant can see on their end. So as an applicant, you can navigate to My Applications, and then right at the top here, we actually have Pending Letter of Recommendation. This is specifically for applications that are still pending that. You can click on this, and then we can see all the different applications that might be missing it. In this case, we just have one. You can press View, and here we can see that it has not been received. You can actually change who it's being sent to by pressing Change, entering the new information, or you can just press Resend if you think they need another notification. Once the applicant has received their letter of recommendation, however, they can navigate to their complete application. In this case, I've already navigated there, and we can see under the letter of recommendation that it is received. We've configured the form to not show the information of the letter of recommendation to the user, but only to potential judges and the admin team. So now that we've seen how the letter of recommendation works in the submission form, let's take a deep dive into how we set this up and all the available features. So first we're going to look at the field features, so the actual letter of recommendation in the submission form. As you can see by my list here, there's quite a few features, but we'll go through one at a time and see what it looks like. So hopping into the backend of Open Water, I've gone directly into the submission form, and I found my letter of recommendation field here. On the left-hand side here, there's a few basic settings, so the label, which is the name, any details you'd like to add, some CSS class, etc. And then we start to get to the advanced features for this field specifically. So we can allow the applicant to send requests prior to finalizing. We can allow the applicant to view the completed reference. So as you saw before, I did not allow them to see it, but if it's not confidential, or if it's okay for them to see it, you can enable that here. And we can also actually allow the applicant to delete the letter of recommendation on incomplete submissions. So if you have the first setting enabled where they can send it prior to completing, you can then allow them to delete it prior if they don't like it for whatever reason or they'd like another one sent in. Additionally, you can allow letters of recommendation to be received after the submission deadline. So the submission deadline is when the user has to finish their submission, but the letters of recommendation can come after the fact. Next, we can press Manage Fields to set up the subform that we saw as the recommender before. So these are the questions that the recommender will have to fill out. You can enable the questions to be required on the left-hand side here by selecting this checkbox on any of the fields you'd like, and then just make sure to save before you exit back out. So just to review, so far we saw the allow applicants to send requests prior to finalizing, allow them to view the reference, allow applicants to delete them on incomplete submissions, and then allow applicants to receive the recommendations after the submission deadline has passed. And of course, we just saw the subform and how to set that up with the Manage Fields button. Next, we have the email to the person writing the reference. So this is the email that the person you enter in this field would receive. So let's take a look at that really quickly. You can press edit, it'll save the form, and then we can see a quick email template that we can set up here. And as you can see, there's already some basic information set up. However, you can configure this however you like. So here we have the subject. There's a few variables in here that pull information personalized to the submission. So this is the application name or like the title field. And then we're also pulling the project title into this. And then we can see the recommender full name, their application name, and a few other pieces of information. Next, we have the email to the applicant when the reference is complete, and it's the exact same form builder. You have access to all the same variables again. Next, we have the landing page content for the person writing the reference. So this is when they first land on the reference, the information at the top. So as you can see here, I've configured it to show the project title, the topic, and then the summary on the next line. And finally, we have the confirmation page content, which is just a basic thank you for submitting your letter of recommendation. So just to recap the last half of what we looked at, we had configure email to the applicant, configure email to the person writing the recommendation, configure the landing page, and then configure the confirmation page. Next, we're going to take a look at the admin features that help you utilize this field. So first, we're going to see what the letter of recommendation looks like in the application itself. So I've hopped over into the completed submission that I want to take a look at. So as an admin, this is your view of the application. And in this case, we're just going to go to the recommendation information. And then when we scroll down, we actually get the letter of recommendation right below the letter of reference field. So as you can see here, there's the full name, institution, position, and then the radio list field at the end as well. You can also override this as the admin if you need to for whatever reason, or you can delete the recommendation by pressing this button if needed. We can see in a moment here, it'll refresh, and now the recommendation is gone. Next, you can view pending letters of recommendation. So heading back over into the admin side of Open Water, we're just going to press back into the main round of our program here. And then under Tools, you can go to Letters of Recommendation. And in a moment here, we'll see if there's any pending ones. And we can see there's still one that needs to be sent out. So in this case, all you need to do is you can either press Send Reminder, or if you want to, you can enter as an admin. So to send a reminder, you can either select multiple if you have multiple and then press the button on the top, or you can just press it on the right side if you just want to do for a single or maybe a couple, and then just press send reminder. It'll take a second to load, and now we can see that's been sent out. So as we saw, we can view the pending letters of recommendation in a quick condensed view. You can send a reminder emails in that same view. And then you can also enter the letter of recommendation as an admin. So really quickly, we'll just see what that looks like. So all you need to do is press enter as admin. It will load the application, and now you can enter that information similar to the original page that we saw. So that's a complete breakdown of our letter of recommendation field, both as the recommender, the applicant, and of course, how you can utilize those fields as the admin. If you have any other questions, please feel free to head to learn.openwater.com or reach out to our team. Thank you.